sponsored by MPW Mocklink TV and Mocklink Internet, online at mpw.org. Each weekday morning, our local talk segment brings you the people who are helping move our community forward. Let's start the show.
Good morning, AM 860, FM 95.1, KWPC. I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us this morning for Moving Forward. Glad to have you with us. As always, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. Mocklink is Muscatine's best internet. Save big when you get internet and TV. Be sure to check it out, mpw.org. Again, I'm Jordan Davis. Thanks for joining us. In the studio with me this morning, Amanda Mckee and Linda Cavazos.
Perfect.
Excellent. I got it. So we're really glad to have you two in this morning. You guys are going to be talking about, you're from the Family Effectiveness Coalition?
Correct.
Excellent. Also, when you guys are talking, just go ahead and you can spin that mic and then lean up to it. Where about here's perfect. Sorry, we rushed them into the studio here this morning. So once again, Amanda Mckee and Linda Cavazos joining us. They're from the Family Effectiveness Coalition, and then we're going to be talking about, I think the city block party is coming up. How far out are we from it?
It's September 7th, so September a little 7th. Over a week. It's going to be on a Friday from 5:30 to 7:30.
And what can we expect from the event? Is it
it's an annual thing that we do. Previously, it was held in the Y parking lot. The last 2 years, this year will be at the Environmental Learning Center on Cedar, across from Muscatine Power and Water. And so there will be about, I think, 32 partners that will be there. So we always do snow cones. We're from Lutheran Services in Iowa. So we always have snow cones there. Hy-Vee will be there with hot dogs. The theme is Take Back the Backyard. So there's going to be a lot of games happening. I know our staff are creating a fun little game with fly swatters and flies, beanbag toss, face painting, or temporary tattoos, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Excellent. So this block party, there's going to be not so much vendors set up, but they're going to be there on location. They're all going to have a booth and there's things for folks to do when they walk around. Now, is it a parking lot or they're at the Environmental Learning Center?
In the Environmental Learning Center, there's like a pavilion by the parking lot, and so normally the vendors are around the pavilion. Excuse me, and then there'll be like raffle prizes. When you walk in, you get a ticket to eat, and then the other side is your ticket, your raffle prize entry. It's completely free to go to this event. And so you get your hot dog, and then periodically throughout the 2 hours, they will call prizes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So it's kind of a fun little way to maybe take home a game. I know like our agency is doing some little card games that you could do at home with your family, bubbles, that kind of thing. And different agencies, everybody's got the theme of Take Back the Backyard. So really pushing to get kids off screen time and enjoying time togetger.
Mm-hmm. And getting outside. That's
getting outside, getting around, staying busy that way.
Yeah, excellent. Well, that sounds like it'll be a lot of fun. And so it's September 7th?
September 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Environmental Learning Center.
Excellent.
And then you park. So that's a pretty big event in Muscatine. I have no idea how many years it's been going on, but many years.
Over 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's been going on for a while, so it grows. So some people park across the street, but there is going to be a free shuttle from Crossroads right by Dollar General. They will have a free shuttle that brings you, so if you want to park over there, there's continuous shuttles going throughout that time.
Perfect. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a good time. You know, we'll see with the heat. You know, it seems like we cooled off for a little bit, and now the heat's back. What was yesterday? I think yesterday had high like
very hot,
99 or 100 something. So hopefully we can stay away from that as we're moving. It'll be September, so hopefully
I'm optimistic for the 80s. Maybe the upper 70s would be beautiful.
That'd be great. I prefer right around 75 and a little bit of breeze.
I think
that's
perfect tomorrow. Weather. Tomorrow I think is like 77.
I think it's the rain's bringing it in. Anyways, sorry.
We'll just discuss the weather
now. Let's talk about now. You guys also wanted to come in and speak about car seat safety, if I understand correctly,
yes.
and that's your ball game, right, Linda?
It is. I've been a certified car seat tech for going on 4 years, a little over 4 years now. So yeah, it's my passion.
Excellent. So tell us about this. So a lot of folks, I'm sure, know the importance of a car seat. They know why they should have one, but a lot of people don't know how long they should have one, because there's car seats from the age of an infant all the way up until what's the age? What would you say would be the age range?
I would say it's all based on their age, their height, and their weight.
Okay. So what is it kind of dependent? And there's different car seats as they move through. It goes from like a car seat to a booster seat to whatever.
Right. There's 4 different types of car seats. There's infant, convertible car seats, forward-facing car seats. There's a plethora of car seats. But basically, we just want to make sure that caregivers and parents are using the right car seat for their children's height and weight and age.
Gotcha. Because, I grew up where if we were going somewhere, like we had a truck that we would hop into, and that was the seat that I sat in. It was there really wasn't a whole lot of choice.
Or your arm.
Yeah,
Mom,
exactly.
Arm coming out. Yeah, that doesn't cut it anymore. We have a lot of really well-intentioned parents who are out there using car seats and restraints, and
Excellent.
Yeah, it's good to know the law.
Because there's front-facing and rear-facing too. I've seen a lot. Like a friend of mine who just recently had a kid. Theirs is rear-facing, and he's got a little mirror so that he can see her when they're driving around. So what's the difference between a front and a rear-facing car seat?
Well, basically, just like they said, there's one that's forward-facing and there's rear-facing. I always state law says they have to be rear-facing from 1 year old up to 1 year old and 20 pounds. Not one or the other, but both. But we always advocate, as car seat techs, that they should stay rear-facing as long as possible.
Gotcha.
Ideally until 2.
Gotcha.
A lot of people are wondering, well, why? Well, because we want the car seat that's rear-facing to do its job. So we want it to cradle the most vulnerable parts of a child, which are their head and their neck and their spine. So most crashes happen from the front, and so we want a little rebound, and we want them turning around so that their neck and their shoulders, their spine, and their head are all protected with the cradle of an infant or a convertible car seat.
They're coming back this way rather than whipping forward like you would if they were front.
It's easier to fix a sprained ankle than it is a hurt head or neck. Gotcha.
Okay, so rear facing you would say is the best for you guys want to see them all the way up until 2 using that, because at some point don't they get a little too big for the rear facing ones, or I'm okay with legs climbing up the back of the seat. As long as they're okay with it, we advocate them staying rear facing, ideally till at least 2 years old. Gotcha. So what else do you think is really important folks ought to know about their car seats?
If they have any questions, it's always a good idea to either call the fire department or call LSI, the Hope's House, to ask for someone like myself. We have 2 other techs, Fabiola Orellana and then Cheyenne Driscoll. We're basically at your service. Give us a call. We'll make a time to arrange to look at your car seat, give you some education, and help you make sure it's installed the way it's supposed to, according to the directions.
And so, like, if new parents are having trouble, like, oh man, I just can't get this car seat to fit in there right, because of the car or whatever, they can come to you guys and you can.
Oh, definitely. Just gotta pick up the phone and we'll be there. Or look for us on the saferkid.gov website. They can look up Find a Tech in my area, and our names will pop up.
Okay.
And one thing,
go ahead.
I was going to say, I've been a parent for 10 years, and she still checks my seat, because even though I've had the seat, you upgrade to a different one, the seats are always different. And so, whether you're getting in a different car or even if you don't have a car seat, we have some community resources that, we want to make sure your child is safe. And so Linda is excellent at making sure kids get the seats that they need.
So you're a 10 years. So you have a 10-year-old.
I have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Is one of them in a booster seat still?
One just moved to a booster seat. She in one of our cars, she's still in a 5-point harness, and then the other one, she's in a booster seat.
I have no idea what a 5-point harness is.
It's just like a big.
It looks like you're being strapped into an airplane. So
a pilot. We say race car.
Gotcha.
But I will say, it all depends on the age, the height, and the weight of the child. I have a very tall but slender 6th grader at the time, and based on his weight, he needed to be in a booster. So it's like we're going through the carpool line, and I'm getting a lot of grief, and I'm thinking, we're going to be safe about this. We'll just get you one that blends in with the car and that's smaller. So there's ways of getting around the embarrassment. But if we talk about the safety aspects with kids, they get it. They get it, that it's the law, but most importantly, it's about safety.
Tell us why it's so important for them to be in a booster seat all the way up until that age.
That's a good question.
I honestly have no idea what the importance of it. The only thing that goes through my mind, they're sitting up higher. Does it have something to do just where the seatbelt lines up on them?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah. Most people, they tend to question it, but if they really think it through, they'll come with those answers. So basically, the booster raises them so that their knees are going over the edge of the seat, the shoulder strap, the harness, is going across their shoulders, across their clavicle, their sternum, and across their hips at the right point. So that way, if there is a crash from any direction, that they're being secured in. So the seatbelt is doing its job.
Because otherwise it could be like the seatbelt could be coming right across here rather than
it can dig into their
down
necks.
Here.
It could just be up on their tummies. We just want them to be at the most secure spot.
Gotcha.
Clavicle, sternum, and their hips.
I see. Because that's what the seatbelts are made to do, is to stop you rather than. Yeah, and I always hated having to put my seatbelt on when I sit in the back every now. And it's terrible. I know that I should never have thought that way, but it's just you get in there and it's like, oh, I gotta sit with the seatbelt on. I'm in the back seat. We're going 5 minutes. Well, I think if I remember correctly, I read somewhere. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like the most accidents happen within just a few miles of the home, if I understand correctly.
That's true, and that's very honest of you to say. We have a lot of parents who care so much for their children, they'll come get checked. And then when we ask them, because it's a requirement of our checklist for certification, do you wear your seatbelt as a parent? Are we setting the role model is what we're implying. And we have had a few say, most of the time. Well, that's not all of the time. So, yeah, we have that discussion. We have that discussion a lot.
And my folks are very good about that. Every time we get in the car, it's put your seatbelt on. Or if I don't have it on the second the car starts, put your seatbelt on. Every time I'm in the vehicle with them. We just got back from a road trip. I think I heard it 30 times.
But you're right. Getting back to your first point, most crashes do happen within a few miles, but I will say most crashes also happen from the front. They can happen any which way, let's be honest, but statistically they're going to happen from the front. So I do have some stats to throw out to you.
Go for it.
Car seats reduce the risk of infants under 1 year old being killed by a car by 71%.
Wow.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And those are statistics that are given without having been checked. So these are parents just using car seats as per the manual and just using them, with their own knowledge. I think that's pretty significant.
That is.
And then car seats also reduce the risk of toddlers ages 1 to 4 years old being killed in a car crash by 54%.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for it to be that big of a difference for them, because I've also seen videos urging for car seats, because some folks will hold a kid in a car when they're driving, and that just to me, even without any knowledge of car seats, knowing it, that's just dangerous, right?
For us, I mean, our instinct is, don't hold them on our laps. But if you're an overburdened family with only one vehicle, it happens. And fortunately for us, we have some funding so that we can provide that car seat to that child, so they can make a space for that child so that they're safer.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, excellent. Well, anything else you two would like to add before we wrap things up here this morning?
Well, I would love to share with everybody that LSI Hope, so Lutheran Services in Iowa, the Early Childhood Department, the Hopes department, we do free car seat checks. So if you want to, just drop on by. We're at 514 Cedar Street here in Muscatine. And we also give us a call beforehand. That always helps to make sure that we're prepared, and we look up
We have a tech ready.
Yes, we have a tech ready and available. And our number is 563-288-4171.
And the techs will also be at the block party.
Excellent. Well, this has been a lot of fun and very informative, that's for sure. So I really appreciate you two coming in, and we're excited for the block party. One more time, give us that date.
Yep, so that's September 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Environmental Learning Center.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to seeing you there, and really appreciate you coming in here this morning to talk to us.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much once again. Amanda Mckee and Linda Cavazos.
Cavazos.
I'm so sorry, Cavazos.
It's
I looked at that, I saw now. I apologize. Cavazos joining us here in the studio this morning for Moving Forward, as always, brought to you by Muscatine Power and Water. It's been a real pleasure having you in, ladies.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This has been Moving Forward on the voice of Muscatine.com. Thanks for joining us.
We'd like to thank MPW